The story began at the exhibition tournament. Goku, accessing Super Saiyan Blue against the participant in Universe 9, was emanating his entire body the essence of a god, which would leave everyone surprised. Rumors among the gods would be heard. This mortal with divine power was something they hadn't seen in existence. This is the power of Universe 7. It's got a few warriors capable of this divine energy. You better make an effort in this tournament. I want to face that warrior. I have an apology for Bellmount-sama. Goku defeated his opponent with his iconic Kamehameha technique. Even though his enemy was hundreds of times bigger than him, Goku's power overwhelmed him, defeating him, for which Daishinkan would give the victor of Universe 7. Goku would return to his base state, a masked warrior would go down. Well, who are you? Do you want to confront me? My name's Toppo, and I'm a vigilante from Universe 7. I won't let you get away with it. Because you are the king of everything organized this tournament, I'll grind you to a pulp. Ha! You'll only achieve that if you're more powerful than me, and I doubt that. You better stop. These battles were saved for the real Tournament of Power. Go back to your respective gods. No, Daishinkan, let him fight. Since my friend Goku wasn't able to show all his power, Universe 9's weak. Let him fight. At the request of Zeno-sama, I'll accept it. Goku from Universe 7 and Toppo from 11. Have a friendly meeting. Enjoy. Goku would get in a battle pose. Toppo, with great speed, was able to lash out against him. They would exchange blows through the combat area. Toppo was able to overcome him because Goku was only fighting with Super Saiyan. Toppo, with a grip, would be able to break his bones, and Goku returning to his base state. All the other gods were surprised by this power of the mortal of Universe 11. Not having divine energy was able to defeat Goku. It doesn't matter that a mortal possesses divine energy. If he isn't able to get a good foundation, he loses against a warrior who doesn't have it. But that's good, real good training there. I'll crush you like the ant you are. Just so you know, Goku isn't used to his divine energy in battle yet. I doubt your warrior could beat him, Bellmount. Toppo would use more power, which he planned to destroy his bones as well as his organs. Goku released the power of Super Saiyan Blue, making Toppo move away a few meters, and with a big smile on his face, he'd beat Toppo. Despite everything possible to defend himself wasn't able to compare with the divine power, his blows were capable of causing incredible damage to his soul. I warned you, Bellmount. It doesn't matter that he has great training. The divine energy will always be on top and a bonus. Goku's got great training. He could fight against me. The murmurs of the gods would intensify. Beerus, the most powerful god of the 12, even on this occasion all the 11 of destruction faced a battle against Beerus. Despite having multiple serious wounds, would defeat the gods without exception. Returning to the battle, Goku and Toppo were able to release more power, carrying powerful attacks. The one with the most wounds on his body was Toppo, and they would collide their attacks. Incredible pressure would fall in the area, and combat power Daishinkan-sama was able to release his incredible pressure over the place. The friendly match has come to an end. They should not show their max powers until the real Tournament of Power. Both participants stared at each other, exchanging few words and returning to their gods. Finishing the fight, Daishinkan would announce the rules that would be carried out in this tournament. Explain each of the rules. You can leave. The tournament will be in 2 Earth days. I hope all the universes are ready. Each god would go to their universe. All the gods would fear the power of Universe 7 and 9. Goku possessed divine energy. Toppo had the power to face divine energy. Because the 10 gods of destruction, including Beerus and Bellmount, were organized a trap where they both locked warriors in the dimension they weren't able to get out. We must do it once and for all. Since we're not the maximum power Son Goku, his power needs to be able to show us. I know that power. In that case, we must seal it soon. It'll be difficult because of the power of Beerus, who is the most powerful god. We won't be able to do it. But we can have the Super Dragon Balls and seal him away. So that way it would be simpler and we don't have to expose ourselves. That's a great idea. But let's not get a hold of the Super Dragon Balls. They're already under Daishinkan-sama's power. Unless... You better speak up. If you don't possess the power of a warrior who's capable of facing them, we could use them against the time rings with the Dragon Balls this time, and the rings could then return them to their original line. I agree, because we won't have to face Beerus, much less Daishinkan. In the Tournament of Power, we won't have to deal with the 2 most powerful warriors or even facing the power of the gods. That's a great idea. We'll do it that way. Prepare everything to leave for the past or future, but it's gotta be today. The gods headed towards Universe 10. The rings were located there, and the god Rumaush of the Authority of the Universe had the power to use the Rings of Time. Thanks, they were able to reach the different time together, and all the other gods who would quickly gather the Dragon Balls, and the gods were able to use them with great ease. Gods, quickly gather them. Apparently the gods of this timeline realized we're here, so we gotta leave quick. All the gods with the Dragon Balls were able to return to their timeline thanks to the rings. Arriving to the god of Universe 10, they were able to invoke powerful god Zalma. Before the divinity was released, they created a barrier between the 10 gods who were there. Tell me, what is your wish? I can only fulfill one wish. I want you to lock up the warriors Goku from Universe 7 and Toppo from 11, in that dimension that they can't get out. Zalma lit up his eyes. On planet Earth, Goku was meditating while the intention of calming his internal energy. He would disappear from there, arriving at a place completely white similar to the Room of Time. This place was different and changed according to the power of the warrior inside. Goku, being confused, would be surprised to realize that Toppo would also appear. Wow, but if you're Toppo, you know what happened? How did we get here? I was training for the Tournament of Power. Son Goku, I don't know how I got here. They just teleported me and I was training since your power turned out to be amazing. Instantly, Zalma would appear in front of them, leaving them surprised. Toppo would try to see him try to attack, but it would stop Goku. Toppo, stop! That's Zalma! But what's he doing in this place? You've been sent here to this dimension. 10 gods have sealed you in this dimension which you can never leave. I will only inform you that. Goku and Toppo amazed, Zalma would disappear, leaving them doubts, and the gods, Zalma, had disappeared from the Universe 11, spreading the Dragon Balls over the 10 universes. Being that they are barrier, they've been gathered in the same place. Now we must return the Super Dragon Balls to their timeline. Leave that to me. I just grant them the time ring and I can get a dimensional portal and spread these Super Dragon Balls. Drez, holding the Ring of Time, was able to crack the entire space in Universe 10, sending the Dragon Balls to their timeline. Universe 7, Beerus would gather every warrior in that universe. Hey Vegeta, Goku's missing. The 10th warrior would be Frieza, and I've been able to talk to the Guardian of Hell to allow him to leave for a day. What do you say, Beerus? The 10th warrior will be Frieza. Frieza will betray us, since he's always hated the Saiyans. He won't team up with us. You don't have to worry about that. Since the universe has its paradise and hell, if our universe is eliminated, Frieza will disappear. Understand. Answering your second question, no, Mr. Beerus. I don't know where Kakarot is. Since they arrived at the exhibition tournament, I hadn't seen him, since I've been on the lookout for my wife, Bulma. Damn, it's only been a few hours since the start of the tournament. Whis, I want you to locate Goku. Of course, Mr. Beerus, I will at this moment. Whis, with the help of his staff, would start looking for Goku's essence. It'd be impossible since his essence wasn't anywhere in Universe 7. Mr. Beerus, this is worrying. I can't find Goku's essence. It's like he's never been here. Damn it, what happened to Goku? Hopefully he's only training. Just wait a little longer. Otherwise we have to choose someone else, and at least I want to do, because no warrior compares to him. The set time had elapsed, there was only 5 minutes left, and Goku hadn't arrived, because Goku's place would be taken by Yamcha since they had to compete in 10 participants. No, damn. Without the power of Goku, the power of this team's diminished greatly. Vegeta and Frieza's, everything's in their hands. They gotta win. Universe 7 reached the platform in the Tournament of Power. The other universes already reached the tournament. Beerus would realize Toppo was not with his companions either, so Beerus would communicate with Bellmount telepathically. Bellmount, you're my opponent in this tournament, but you're not my enemy. I've got a question. What happened to Toppo? I don't know, Beerus. I wasn't able to find him. Even my angel tried to locate him all over Universe 11, but he disappeared completely. He's damn good for nothing. That's the same thing that happened to Goku. That means that the other gods are working against us, and they must have something with our participants. Right now, they're not able to do anything. I thank each of you for your presence today. I hope you're ready to start with the power. Start fighting! All the warriors launched themselves against the other universes. In the dimension that Zalma had sealed them, Goku with Toppo would expel their power. The intention of cracking the dimension was impossible for them, since the dimension, for a king of the whole, would be difficult to get out. No, damn, the tournament power started! We can't get out of here! For me, this warrior of justice and believe in the word of the gods, they turned their backs on us. I won't forgive them. We have to get out of here, Goku. Both warriors released their power, but they weren't able to do anything. The dimension was created by the same power of the god Dragon Zama, which means for them to get out, they had to overcome the power of their creator. Damn, I hope that little Zeno has mercy on the universes and not eliminate them. I swear these gods will pay. You're counting on Son Goku with me this time. I won't have to let these wretches get away with it. I'll eradicate them. Both warriors immediately promised to put an end to the gods who betrayed them. Although, for this, they must sacrifice their universes. They didn't have the required power to destroy the dimension. For that, we must become more powerful. I agree with you, Goku. Let's do it once and for all. Both warriors began their rigorous training in order to take their revenge on the gods, while on the other hand, in the outside world, the Tournament of Power would continue to demonstrate incredible battles over the platform. A gigantic power made everything tremble, not enough to destroy the dimension. In that time, Goku and Toppo had been able to become more powerful. This time of place was very different. An hour in this world was a year in that place. The time difference was overwhelming, and these warriors increased their powers faster and possessed the energy of a god where they were not affected. Since in this time, Toppo completely mastered his god of destruction state, not able to age and keep his body at the max power, just like Goku possessed the energy of a Saiyan god. Toppo, we've become very powerful. I've been able to access Super Saiyan Blue 2. I'm close to accessing Super Saiyan Blue 3. I've been able to master the state of the god of destruction. I'm sure I can take my body to a new level, and I promise I'll achieve it. Hey, Toppo, how long do you think he spent outside? You think our friends still are alive, or have they been eliminated by the king altogether? To be honest, I doubt my universe will be eliminated. I was not the most powerful warrior in that universe. Jiren's more powerful than me. Wow, that universe is victory then. Apparently the other gods haven't turned, but they managed to get out of here, since we can't stay like this, Toppo. Returned to the Tournament of Power, several universes eliminated by the King of all, Zeno-sama. The gods were surprised since the power that Jiren was able to demonstrate was overwhelming. I can't believe that guy was able to give a hit battle even when it was in the time jump. I thought sealing Goku and that other guy, the universe would have had victory. What's the matter with you, Champa? Is there anything that worries you more than the tournament? Damn it, Vados. You're relaxed because if we lose or win, you angels will be exterminated, but my life's in grave danger. In the Tournament of Power arena, Vegeta, Frieza, Hit, and other great power warriors reached the end of the Tournament of Power, surrounded by Jiren. I hate to admit it, this damn war between all of us and you, we can fight together. His power is amazing. I totally agree with you. I never thought a warrior besides Son Goku would be able to fight against me. He amazed me. That's interesting. It's a pity that their powers are so low. No matter how many ants join, they can't beat a dinosaur like me.
It's a pity, because if several ants join, we can beat you. I hope you're ready to be eliminated.
Multiple warriors in the universes rushed him. Fighting with each of them, the gods were surprised how Jiren had a great numerical disadvantage, giving battle to them, and the god Bellmouth was relaxed. It doesn't matter how many warriors join. Jiren's power surpasses me. Can't say I'm the most second powerful god, only below Beerus, and I'm sure Jiren would be able to give him battle. Jiren would eliminate every warrior, since his power was devastating when they attacked him. A few combos hit him, but Jiren was able to eliminate the weaker warriors that were attacking him. And on the battlefield, Vegeta, Frieza, and Hit, but despite getting on their feet, their bodies were completely destroyed. Damn, I never thought there'd be such a huge power. His power is capable of destroying us. I'm sure if we unite, we'll be able to do anything. Is this our end?
No, damn. I'm the Emperor of Evil. I can't end up like this. I have to do something against him. I'm Frieza!
Frieza, in anger, would pounce against Jiren, who would exchange thousands of blows. Jiren, it was nothing, since he was able to dodge them, and in a certain blow, Jiren would hold Frieza's arm. You're weak. You can't do anything against me. I'll eliminate you from this tournament and the way you take this place. Jiren, with an incredible blow, sent him flying, leaving only Vegeta and Hit against this power of Jiren. What do they do now? Since they weren't all united, they couldn't do anything. What are they supposed to do? I'm not going to give up easily. I'll hit the legendary assassin of Universe 6, give his life to order beat you. Hit will increase his power on a surprising scale. Even though his power was an outrage, Jiren, it was nothing, because his power was still way above his. Hit would, without saying a word, begin his onslaught, and his bones were destroyed by the excess energy. Despite sacrificing his existence, it wouldn't do anything, and every step it would be followed.
Is that it? You have nothing but a small power increase to exchange your life? You're a worm.
Jiren, with one blow, sent him flying, causing him to spit blood over the battlefield. Vegeta would watch, and his body wouldn't stop shaking. Vegeta would remember his family, Earth, and how he arrived, and how even his greatest Kakarot rival.
What would you do in this situation, Kakarot? Guide me.
You're the only one who would be the most powerful Saiyan of our race. Jiren would approach Vegeta, who had a gloomy look. Knowing that they would be eliminated, even Beerus would no longer say anything, knowing that Vegeta didn't have the required power to do something against Jiren.
Apparently you're more thoughtful than the others.
Since you accepted your destiny, since you don't want to fight, it disappears. Jiren's fist was about to collide with Vegeta's face. Centimeters away, a purple aura would force Jiren away. Vegeta's aura would cause a few scratches.
What? You can give me a few scratches with your aura? You're nothing but an insect.
Vegeta's aura would grow, so much more that everything around him would tremble. Just like the god of a power would be perceived by the other gods, every god would stand up, giving him great power resonance.
What? How did Vegeta access the god of destruction?
Wow, I never thought Mr. Vegeta's emotions would be able to access the power of the god of destruction. Vegeta's incredible aura destroyed everything around him. So, at that moment, he would be able to let himself see his new appearance. His eyes as well as his hair were purple, able to recover all his wounds and received in the battle.
What? I never understand the Saiyans. The more powerful their opponents are, the power they can get is on another level. I didn't expect this, but the power is worthy of me. So finally, a rival. You can attach your power, I'll end you otherwise. I don't know where all this power's come from, but it's time to end this thing.
Vegeta and Jiren got close. Their auras collided, and so much more that the gods could feel their pressures.
I can't believe Universe 7 has such powerful warriors. What happened to Son Goku? That warrior was more powerful than Vegeta. Vegeta, show the power of the whole Universe 7. Do it for your family. I dedicate this victory to my family. And Kakarot, since I don't know where you bastards are, but I'm sure the gods had something to do with this.
Vegeta would watch them in anger, while the gods would not move.
I don't know who the hell Kakarot is, but whatever happened, it happened because he's weak.
And it's because something happened to that damn good-for-nothing worm. Before Jiren could react, Vegeta was able to connect a punch to his stomach, sending him flying through a few mountains generated on the platform. Vegeta would walk towards Jiren.
You better respect Kakarot. He'd finish you off without a movement. And I'm sure he'll finish off the bastards who did something to him that made him not able to participate.
The few gods present with a serious look, while instantly an incredible power would be released. This time, Vegeta's blow caused damage to Jiren's body. Jiren would expel monstrous power, leaving a few gods surprised.
This is amazing. Apparently Vegeta's incredible power overcame Jiren, but I hope he'll be able to beat him. His body was affected by all that power. Being the first time, the burden must be crazy.
I agree with you, Mr. Beerus. Mr. Vegeta can explode, since the power of the God of Destruction is not a game.
We had a small flaw in our desire. We should lock that damn Vegeta up too, since his power turned out to be a nuisance in the same way.
In that dimension, Goku and Toppo would continue with their great training. Several years passed. With their divine energy, the warriors didn't notice the change, but the gigantic power was growing, since their powers had already compared to that of a priest, just as Goku's body would change. Wow, that power I feel running inside me? I've been able to master this state of Super Saiyan Blue 3. I can feel a power that burns me inside.
It could be a power far beyond the Super Saiyan Blue. I also am awakened the power of the God of Destruction. I feel the whole interior burning.
In that case, we can make this power of mine. Since it's very powerful, we can destroy this place.
I don't know which gods had this idea, but believe me, Goku won't let them get away with it.
Both continued their training. In the Tournament of Power, Vegeta, with all his power, generated a great explosion, managing to eliminate the participants present. Jiren and Hit, who at that time were the most powerful warriors still participating.
Wow. Lord Vegeta and the power of God of Destruction was able to generate an explosion, eliminating the warriors. What happened?
In the smoke, they could see a very badly injured Vegeta at his base state. The power of the explosion, together with the power of the God of Destruction, destroyed his body. Not enough to end his life, though.
So the warrior Vegeta from Universe 7 is the winner of the Tournament of Power. Tell me, what's your wish?
Vegeta, with his last energies, would observe all the warriors and Daishinkan.
Revive all the universes destroyed by the great Zeno-sama. That's my wish.
Daishinkan, before asking anything, Vegeta would fall out of combat. Daishinkan went to the powerful god Zalma, asking for Vegeta's wish, getting the gods together with their warriors to revive their respective universes.
Despite it belonging to an evil race, Vegeta's heart is changed on planet Earth. That's gotta be admired. The battles and desires been excellent. I hope to share with Universe 7, since apparently they're extraordinary warriors.
Returning to the time room, a great light would be rising all over the place. This pressure would fall on Toppo's body, but not enough to bend him.
What? Whose pressure is this?
It's enough to make me drop in an incredible way. But a great silver light was possible to observe Goku with silver eyes, and the gaze he gave off was that of peace. A great power is beginning to be released from Goku's body. On this occasion, he left Toppo surprised. That great power almost bent him. While Goku could observe with a great silver light, of appearance very similar to his base state, it would look completely different.
Wow, but the power released belongs to Goku? How's he able to get that level? I can't believe it.
Goku wouldn't say anything, but with a roar, he would bend Toppo. Because the pressure he increased was incredible. Toppo would be on the ground, unable to move, and despite the difficulty, he would access his state of God of Destruction. That pressure was not so powerful to leave him on the ground. The several hours of his bones had been compromised by that incredible pressure he released.
Goku, you better control yourself. That power is able to go crazy. It can cause damage to your body.
Goku instantly took a few steps. He'd fall on the ground, slumped, and hundreds of lightning bolts pierced his body. That power was the Ultra Instinct, a power beyond the understanding of the gods, and he was able to master it and would require incredible endurance.
I knew that all that power had a price, but how he was able to get it and how not to assimilate it? Even I, who overcome the God of Destruction, is bent like a child. Must be a nightmare.
Outside, it had already been a few months. Since Vegeta had won the Tournament of Power, all the warriors gathered at Bulma's, as well as the deities of Universe 7. It's better that we gather the Dragon Balls, and that I with my staff couldn't find Goku. That means I'm much more powerful than him. We were able to get him.
I agree. And those beings who have been gods, I doubt any warrior could leave no trace of Goku. But Mr. Beerus, being the most powerful deity of this universe, you can review the Hell of Paradise? I know it's unlikely, but they'll be able to send Goku's life.
It's impossible, because if his soul is in the two places, we could feel his essence. Every universe has its hell and paradise, so every angel can feel every presence.
Huh, seems more complicated than expected.
In that case, we have to gather the Dragon Balls to have one more clue. Bulma, I understand you can reserve one of the awards on your birthday. Can we use them right now? I want to know what happened to my dad, since it's not possible he disappeared without a trace. Of course, Gohan. Don't worry, Goku's my best friend. I've known him all my life. I'll do everything I can to help him. Bulma would summon Shenron, because in this everything would darken and Shenron would make an appearance.
Tell me, I can fulfill your 3 wishes, the ones you want. How long has it been without seeing you, Shenron? In this moment, I want you to do something for me. Because if you could help us right now.
Shenron's expression would change. Beerus was feared by the gods, but he would keep his composure.
Of course, Beerus. Tell me, how can I help you?
That Saiyan Son Goku or Kakarot disappeared. We ask for your help so we can get some clues.
Shenron would investigate his great power. He got closer to the corners of the universe, and a gigantic barrier wouldn't allow him to access that place. Instead, he was able to observe 10 gods, while the top of the whole place was the powerful dragon god Zalma.
Mr. Beerus, I don't know what happened to Goku, but 10 gods of destruction have to do with his disappearance, like the dragon god Zalma.
Well, Goku showed to this tournament of power has been much to the force of those who use the Super Dragon Balls, but I feel that something doesn't add up. Beerus would instantly expel an incredible power and would terrify everyone. The entire Universe 7 was shaken.
Those bastards, they traveled back in time. And the powerful Daishaken, he used the possessions of the Super Dragon Balls, and they couldn't be activated again for 2 days. They made me irritated.
I hadn't thought of that, Mr. Beerus. You're right, because if the gods could use the Super Dragon Balls, they'd do something against Goku, and Daishaken would not have been able to revive the universes eliminated by Zeno-sama.
In that case, what can we do, Shenron? Any suggestions?
I'm sorry, I can't compare myself to Zalma, so it's impossible for me to get information with Son Goku.
I understand. With that clue, you've given us enough. I have to meet with those damn traitors, and I'll beat the information out of them.
In that case, I'm retiring.
The Dragon Balls were scattered over Earth again, while Beerus would look with anger and observe Whis.
We gotta leave to Universe 10. We have a serious conversation with the god Ramush of that universe, and if he doesn't talk, I don't want you to intervene, Whis, since I plan to get the information out of him.
I understand, Mr. Beerus. With your permission, we're leaving. Both deities went to the god Ramush of Universe 10, for which they instantly arrived, and the deities of Universe 10 received them kindly.
Beerus, for how long? It's been first to let me tell you thank you. I was able to find out thanks to a warrior of universe, we're able to come back to life. And if you want to be grateful, you tell me the wish that you made for the Super Dragon Balls. It'll be better if you answer me the good way, since I plan to get the information out of you one way or another. Well, what are you saying? No matter what the hell you're talking about, how can we use the Super Dragon Balls if Daishaken at him?
Ramush, without being able to see anything, he received a blow to his stomach, powerful enough to make him spit out blood all over the place.
I'll ask you one more time. What was the wish you asked for the Super Dragon Balls? You're the god of Universe 10. You can get the Rings of Time at your disposal, and they'll never take me by the hair. Apparently denying it won't be any good, but you want the information you're looking for, and you're completely wrong. You have to force me. Heh, it's been a while since I had to battle. I knew you wouldn't be able to give me that info. You better get ready.
Ramush would instantly expel his power. Everything around him shuddered, and that power he released was capable of making the entire Universe 10 shudder. Beerus wasn't surprised. His true power far exceeded Ramush's.
I hope you have more power than that, because if this is your max, you disappoint me, since you can't do anything against me, or you've forgotten the fear you had of me.
Ramush, despite remembering the fear he had of Beerus, would rush him trying to hit him. Beerus, with the blows like a simple child was hitting him, he was able to dodge the blows with his eyes closed. The battle progressed, and the desperation on Ramush's face was evident.
What's going on, huh? Is that all you got? I thought you'd be a worthy opponent since you're one of the most useless gods.
Ramush, while still trying to say something, Beerus, with an overwhelming speed, inserted his hand into his chest.
If you don't want to die, tell me everything you know, because I won't hesitate to end your pathetic life if you don't tell me what I want to know.
Ramush would remember the words of Katla of Universe 4. In that case, Beerus and Belmont are able to discover what we know with our current power and can't face them, so we give you this. A pearl of dark energy would enter Ramush's body, since he was the most dangerous god among the 10 of the destruction. I know you won't like it the way it's activated. The only way for us, Beerus or Belmont, to end your life, it's an incredible power that explodes.
With all that great power, you must defeat them, yes, since it is authentic destructive energy of all of us, even with a little energy of the God Massacre. I understand, and I appreciate you care about me.
Returned to the battlefield, Beerus held Ramush's heart, expelling too much blood.
Tell me what I need to know, and I promise I'll let you live. And just tell me where the hell Goku went.
Ramush, despite all the pain, spit at Beerus' face. Beerus angry because in one fell swoop he ripped his heart out.
I'm sorry, Angel Cuss, but this had to be done. I can't let that damn god cheat us out of my universe.
I understand, Beerus-sama. It's a pity that Ramush-sama wasn't defeated yet, but you guys apparently chose to be on the side of a mortal.
What are you supposed to be saying, huh? I ripped out his heart. No living being is capable of being alive without his main organ.
Ramush-sama has planned for you, and Mr. Belmont would find everything that happened, so he preferred to not take risks or take a few precautions.
At that moment, Ramush's body would form a kind of flesh which would likewise create a warrior, while his power would begin to increase in an unreal way.
What the hell are they supposed to have done? It's not possible to be able to stay alive after losing a heart.
Beerus would be put out of his thoughts. A new warrior would move impressively, being able to be a few centimeters from him.
What's going on, Beerus? You're shaking in fear this time? You better get ready, because you hit me and you have to get ready to get hit.
Beerus trying to rush him, Ramush would dodge the blow and connect millions of blows over Beerus. While that battle was going on, Goku had been able to wake up, his body with multiple wounds due to the excess energy of the Ultra Instinct.
My body hurts! What the hell's that transformation? My hair's back to black, but if it was not transformed, that's strange.
I agree with you, but I miss the power that you were able to release was overwhelming. I'm sure that currently you can overcome the power of a Guardian Angel Daishinken.
I'm sure that too, but we've got to be more powerful in that case. The high commands turn us against us to require the power able to defeat them.
I doubt the Divine Kingdom can turn against us. We haven't done anything. We're the ones affected by the damn gods who betrayed us.
I swear they'll pay. I won't let them get away with it.
Goku would continue meditating, the intention of recovering completely. On the battlefield, Beerus was able to dodge several blows of Ramush. The blows were able to connect him, generating damage, while Beerus was hitting Ramush's body. His fists hurt because Ramush's resistance increased incredibly.
What's going on, Beerus? Where's your power which you hit me before? Or are you only able to abuse your power of the weak gods? You've really increased your power. Let me tell you that the power you've been able to get's not real. At this moment, I, the most powerful god of the universe, will show you the true power of a super god.
I hope everything you say is true, because in that case, showing that pathetic power, I'll have to finish you in one move.
Ramush-sama, you don't have to allow Beerus to access 100% of his power. You know better than anyone that Beerus' power is incredible. What's more, even all the gods together have not been able to beat him.
Don't worry, I'm able to beat Beerus.
Beerus would expel his power, making the Universe 10 shake entirely. Beerus was able to access 100% of his power, and that power had the Divine Pearl granted by Ramush of Universe 10. Because of this time, Beerus was the most powerful god and able to keep up with him. Beerus would agree to use 100% of his power.
I don't know how you're able to get the Divine Pearl. It doesn't interest me. Right now, I plan to end your existence. You're not a being whose life I should spare, since you would get in my universe and eliminate my friend. Don't say stupid things, Beerus. You're no one's friend. You're just all living beings at your convenience. And at this moment, you don't say such stupid things. To use them or not, it's none of your business. I want you to tell you what you've done with Goku. Otherwise, I'm gonna end your life. Don't you only be able to say that your power's greater than mine. I highly doubt that. My power can surpass you by dozens. Ramush, tell me how much you've seen 100% of my power. You don't know what fear is? You're in luck, because today you'll know true terror.
He would instantly give a small smile, saying to himself,
Ramush has no chance. It doesn't matter that he could use the Divine Pearl. Lord Beerus' power is on par with that of an angel. Only Beerus retains that power, and his training has results.
Ramush's confidence of the Divine Pearl would approach Beerus with arrogance because Beerus seemed to be without guard.
Beerus, if you want to be able to beat me, you have to have some guard. Otherwise, I won't be able to do something against me, but...
Before Ramush could finish speaking, Beerus was able to connect an incredible blow on his chin, being powerful enough to send him flying into a few mountains, destroying them.
Although it seems that you have low guard, we're gods. You should trust that fact? Of course not. Since we've always had the respect of the enemy, it's something that you should not understand. Your ending's written, Ramush. Ramush was on the ground vomiting blood and trying to stand, which was impossible because his legs were shaking.
What was that? How has it caused this much damage with one of the punches? I have the Divine Pearl!
It's a pity, Ramush. The Divine Pearl is only able to release its true potential for your body and multiply it by 5. Your pathetic power is nothing. No matter how many times they multiply your power, it's still pathetic. Ramush, despite being angry, would not be able to do anything to stand. He would notice the blow of Beerus and would contain a large amount of destructive energy that is along with angelic energy, which would be deadly for any warrior, no master of both. Beerus would hold Ramush by the neck.
You better talk. I'm planning to wipe out the last molecule of your body.
I'm not interested in you being able to end my existence. I'm not a traitor.
And if you're interested in that saying, it's because you've planned to do something with him. On the other hand, you're right. Never name the fact of your ending your existence. That'd be the benevolence of you and something that you don't deserve.
Beerus' aura, the same death would be observed. This time, Beerus was able to materialize his aura, and having a great instinct on the battlefield, his own aura was able to represent death.
With this, you'll prefer to die. I want to see how much you'll be able to endure. Palms of death. Rapture of divine essence.
The death in the aura of Beerus was able to deliver hundreds of blows all over Ramush's body. The blows, despite not doing him a physical harm, was much more serious in damage, because this time it would cause him to the entire soul, and in this case destroying the soul completely. It wouldn't matter that they would gather the Super Dragon Balls, Ramush would not be part of anything. This technique was similar to that of the destruction of the gods, and this destruction would cause him agony. Beerus would stop his punching combo and start moving closer towards Ramush.
You ready to talk or you want more? No matter how much you do, Ramush, you can't do anything against me. Have you forgotten who's the most powerful god among the 12?
Ramush would try to crawl, but Beerus would hold him by his legs, burying him into the entire base of the planet, generating a few explosions due to the power he exerted. In the dimension of Goku, he was meditating, and he opened his eyes, they were silver. While there was great pressure present over the place, Goku would control it.
This present's incredible. I can bear this power. I feel like I'm capable of breaking bones. I must control this power.
Wow, you've been able to control a little bit of this amazing power. That amazes me, Goku. What's more is expected from a warrior race.
Thanks, Toppo. We've been in this place for millennia, even millions of years. Apparently this time we have to get out of here. What do you think? We have a last training, and we're gonna have to leave.
That seems cool to me, Goku. But what if we have a match?
That seems great. I know that our power's increased, so let's do it.
I want to know how much you've been able to increase your power.
But let's combat to be in about 1 month, since I want to train a little more, since apparently the power you have is amazing. I very hardly would be able to face it, and I don't want to disappoint you. Wow, I understand. In that case, let's master all this power. In about a month, we'll battle up, will be legendary.
Both Mowers did know is that their powers were already on par with that of a priest. In this team, they'd be able to defeat Daishinken. To reach the power of Zeno-sama, they still lacked too much, and there was something said to be minimal. In power scales, something minimal who could define the lives and who wins. And for that reason, they decided to train. Returning to the battle, Beerus humiliated Ramush multiple times, who on this occasion wasn't able to move, and his soul was destroyed.
Ramush's last chance. Tell me, what have you done with Goku or Toppo, or else this next blow will end your life?
Ramush, without being able to answer, would accept his end, and Beerus would use Energy Scythe, which he had planned to end Ramush's life. However, the Energy Scythe would be completely destroyed by the Staff of Angel Kuss.
I cannot allow him to end Ramush's life, because if he ends Ramush's life, the balance in the 12 universes will be destroyed. You're mistaken, Kuss, because the balance was broken since a god was able to enter another universe, not belonging to his god's consent. Those are minor rules, but ending the life of a god would bring wrath of the mighty king at all. That's why I don't plan to let him end. If you don't stop me, I promise you won't intervene in our battle. I just inform you that she's an angel. Don't hesitate to use all your power. Don't say stupid things. It doesn't matter that you're the most powerful god of the 12 gods. It's impossible for a god to compare to the guardian angel. Beerus without warning would appear in front of us, because being able to connect a blow on her face, which on this occasion would almost send her to the ground, and the great ability on the battlefield would be able to pull herself in the air. What the hell is going on? How is it possible a simple god's able to beat me? Are the gods really on par with us angels? I know that we have hundreds of questions. The gods are not on the level of an angel. That's common gods. I've been able to surpass the power of an angel, only finding myself below Whis and the supreme angel Daishinken. What is that you said? It's crazy! No god can count on the power beyond an angel, because it's even against the rules. What rules? He never says a god can't surpass an angel, only that you've been blessed with the joy of having great power since birth. Doesn't mean they're insurmountable. I'm proof of that. Sister, you better not fight against Beerus, since you will lose your life together with your god. Better give us the transformation need to be able to heal all the wounds of Ramush. No, damn! I won't let a simple god be able to beat me! I'm an angel! This can't be happening! Kus, without accepting the harsh reality, would pounce against Beerus, but Beerus, without trusting himself, knew his opponent was an angel, and would dodge each of the blows that he wasn't able to dodge, managed to counteract them. And irritated Kus much more would be a girl, because Beerus would instantly hold Kus's arms, exerting great power and mobilizing her. Kus, calm down. I don't want to hurt you. Just collaborate with us. I don't plan to eradicate all the gods involved. You can avoid this by giving me the information I need. Never. I won't tell you nothing. If you want to end my life, do it. But this is my father. Daishinken would take revenge, and nothing will be able to overcome the power of an angel. The power of the great priest will never be able to overcome. A great pressure would fall on Kus's body. Whis would be angry and would pass by Beerus' side, staring at his sister. Are you threatening us? Don't make me laugh. You better than anyone know that Daishinken's power is higher than mine. It's not by much, and likewise even my father would get angry if they find out they have traveled in time. Kus, before saying anything, was hit with an incredible power in her stomach, causing her to fall to the planet, destroying everything while she watched a great fury. I'll not end up with you out of respect of our parents. I do plan to lock you in an alternate dimension, from which you will be able to get out by being able to overcome my power at the max. Don't say that, brother, please. I cannot tell them anything. Don't seal me, I implore you. I don't want to die in an alternate dimension. Who said you would die? You're totally wrong. In that dimension, you will inhabit the whole existence. And that's what a traitor like you deserves. Whis would hold his staff to the point at Kus, which would panic and would escape from the entire Universe 10. No matter how high speed, Whis already had it completely fixed, being pulled by a whirlwind of energy, being sealed in one dimension by the staff completely. That's what happens for her to be impertinent. Whis, what are we going to do in this time? The god of Universe 10 didn't want to collaborate. Will we go to another universe? It will be best, because if this time it was Son Goku, next time it'd be just you, the most powerful god. We have to end the problem and end the promoters of this. Meanwhile, the room of the month had already passed. Goku had been training the Master Ultra Instinct completely, being able to adapt the perfect Ultra Instinct as his new base state. Goku would approach Toppo, and everything would be destroyed, since Toppo's power of the God of Destruction state was incomparable. This time, everything around him was lava and hundreds of lightning. Wow, the power of a God of Destruction is amazing, and much more, he's able to destroy it and master it. This battle'll be interesting.
Well, you're already prepared for our battle. This'll be interesting, but allow me. I plan to access the maximum power of a God of Destruction.
Toppo, channeling his power, would destroy everything, accessing the state of the God of Destruction. The pressure would be released and the surroundings was amazing, because this time even Jiren, any god or angel, would not be able to stand that pressure, with the exception of the deities of Universe 7. Wow, the power you're releasing is amazing! I'm gonna release mine! Goku would release much more of his power and the imperfect Ultra Instinct, being able to create a galaxy under his feet. Same way the pressure was released was amazing. Because of this, both pressures would collide brutally.
I hope you're ready. The same for you, Goku.
The final battle of both warriors would begin, being able to leave the dimension to which the gods had sent them. A destruction would be caused in the dimension where they were locked, because their power levels were in an incomparable range.
Toppo, I hope you're prepared. It'll be our final training before we go out and finish those guys.
I'm completely prepared. Whenever you want to attack, I'm surprised at the state you're able to get to. It seems that you're able to get that base state, but the power that runs through your body is incredible.
You've been able to realize it. It's an amazing perception you have of the divine energy. Your energy's destructive, but let's start.
Goku at a great speed would attack Toppo, and they would both exchange millions of blows. Toppo, thanks to the god of destruction of energy, was able to keep Goku at bay, and a little oversight would completely pulverize him. Goku, thanks to the imperfect Ultra Instinct, would dodge most of Toppo's blows, and outside, Beerus and Whis were on the planet again.
Damn it, we have to finish these deities in Universe 10. Despite not that we're able to get our transformation, it's frustrating.
I can imagine how you feel, Mr. Beerus, but don't worry, since it's normal. Even I, despite being a neutral being, I feel terrible that I had to seal my sister. But we had no choice. Her actions were questionable.
I agree with you, Whis. There's nothing I don't like. It'd be better to go to Universe 11 and talk to Bellmound. We need to know if he knows anything about Toppo.
I doubt he has any information, but apparently he's not interested in the slightest what happened to his warrior. That's okay, let's go. Whis, together with Beerus, would leave for Universe 11. Getting to the planet Bellmound with a few minutes, was greeted by his angel.
Well, well, but if the deities in Universe 7 and my brother Whis and his destroyer god Beerus-sama.
Well, this is a surprise. I didn't think that I'd see in my universe. Beerus, what brings you here, since we have nothing pending to talk about? Bellmound, you really forgot the existence of Toppo? What kind of god are you? You're completely unforgivable. Your warrior was willing to sacrifice for the tournament and you just forgot him like trash.
Well, first off, Beerus, mind your business. Second, everyone's replaceable. I don't know what happened to him. Whatever happened to him, it was because he was weak. Even if he wasn't, he would still be here.
Beerus, instantly angry, would try to pounce against Bellmound, and incredible pressure would fall on everyone, being so much that both angels would fall to the ground, not able to move. Instantly, Beerus was able to recognize the clothing of the warriors who were in front of him.
If you are Son Goku, where have you been? I'm surprised you're alive. I thought these useless bastards did something to you. Made a mistake, apparently.
No, Beerus-sama, they really colluded against us. Thank you for taking the time to find out. You're very different from that damn Bellmound.
The incredible pressure continued to fall on the Universe 11, while Whis and Beerus were able to move without difficulty. Toppo would approach Bellmound, being able to observe him intently.
So that's what you think about me. I've nothing to reproach you. Since you have said it, I agree. If you're weak, I would not be eating dirt now. So you're still more of a worm.
Bellmound, with his pride shattered, would try to stand. It'd be impossible, since the pressure over the place was incomparable, and his bones were destroyed by the pressure of Toppo, because Goku's pressure would be deactivated.
Don't worry, I'm not an overachiever like you. I'll lower my pressure to the lowest so we can have a fight if you're able to beat me. I'll spare your life on the contrary. If I'm able to beat you, I'll destroy you completely.
Toppo's pressure would decrease, and despite decreasing it as much as possible, Bellmound's body couldn't move freely. The power that they'd been able to get in this time even surpassed that of Daishinken. A few simple gods of destruction weren't able to do anything against him.
Damn it! This is all Beerus' fault. He came at the worst time because if Toppo hadn't listened, none of this would happen.
I don't know what the hell you're thinking of, you traitor. I'm able to decrease my pressure even more possible, so you better get ready, otherwise I'll end your life without any effort.
No, Toppo, wait! Oh, this is a misunderstanding. What you heard wasn't real. I looked for you, but knowing your whereabouts, I just thought you left for another universe.
Toppo, with great anger, would move in a straight line. No one was able to see him, and would connect a blow to Bellmound's stomach, falling to the ground, vomiting blood.
You better not say stupid things to me, because I know very well you don't care about my well-being.
Beerus-sama, who cared about the whereabouts of his warrior, you don't serve as the protector of this universe. Bellmount at that moment, his bones were destroyed. He'd stand up and try to throw himself against Toppo, but his gravity would fall on his body, making him sink into the entire surface of the planet, and the pressure didn't fall on his angel. I have no plans to do anything with you if you don't intervene. I also understand that angels aren't capable of contradicting their gods. Toppo would begin to massacre Bellmount. Despite him trying to defend himself, it was impossible. The power was different from that abysmal child as an adult. Bellmount, compared to Toppo, was like a child. All the other gods realized the fall of Ramush of Universe 10, and because of this, these gods held an emergency meeting on the planet of Universe 12. But instantly, all the gods arrived. They were able to perceive Bellmount's power to rapidly descend.
This is really bad. Bellmount's the second most powerful god, only below Beerus. His power is decreasing.
I must be my brother Beerus. That damn worm had high esteem for that Saiyan Goku. Bellmount has nothing to do with it.
No, it's not Beerus, as I feel the power of Beerus in his resting state. A power is even capable of overshadowing the angels located on one side of them.
In that case, we must find out what's happening. We, the gods, can't allow ourselves to be eliminated by such worms.
If you judge me, I believe that it's Beerus or Goku, and Toppo is able to get out of that dimension, which we tried to seal him.
Ha! Don't say stupid things, Champa. Even though they have great power, it's completely impossible that they could leave the great dragon Zoma. Don't say stupid things.
Several gods would be observed more nervous because if it was true, they wouldn't have a chance against Goku and Toppo. A great rumble would be felt on the 12 universes, so powerful that it would destroy everything, and a great pressure would fall on the gods on the Universe 12. In this part, returning to the battlefield, Toppo would hold Bellmount by the neck.
I've had enough humiliating you. You don't serve as a warm-up. You're nothing but a worm. You didn't even give me a scratch.
Toppo, carrying a large sphere of destructive energy, would bring it closer to Bellmount, who would on this occasion not be able to do anything.
This energy, I'll disintegrate you. You won't be a part of anything, like you've never existed.
Toppo's energy would be about to collide with Bellmount. Jiren, the most powerful mortal of Universe 11, was able to save Bellmount with incredible speed, prostrating in the sight of Margarita.
But if you're Toppo, what happened? What's the reason you were able to end Bellmount's life? We were partners, but if you try to end Bellmount's life, like you'd be able to defeat me first.
Jiren, long time no see. You better get out of the way, because right now I have the power to stand up to you, so you better get out of the way. As I've told you, I will not allow you to end Bellmount's life. This god of Universe 11, if you ended the life of the whole balance will be lost. I don't know what happened to you, but don't let it go. You can't do this.
Let it go? Are you saying that? No matter how many years I spent locked up in an alternate dimension, and you being my partner weren't able to do anything to help me.
I'm sorry, but it happened for you for some reason, because you were weak. If you had great power, none of this would have happened. So the fault is not anyone else's. It's yours for being an impertinent worm. Without Jiren noticing, Goku's hand was touching his shoulder.
It'd be better to calm down.
If I were your opponent, you, the famous Jiren that Toppo talked about so much, you don't possess such great power as I thought.
You remind me of Vegeta's Saiyan of Universe 7. I don't know if they have something in common or just the race, but I'll destroy you.
What happened to Vegeta? Of course I know him. We're friends and rivals.
This is great, since you and I will be able to take revenge on that damn one. Since their own damn fault of the universe was destroyed, and not according to that, he was able to revive us. I don't need mercy, but now I'll end your life.
That's amusing. It's a pity because if you couldn't end Vegeta's life, much less you'll be able to do something against me.
Jiren, annoyed, would try to throw a punch at Goku, but surprised, Goku was able to stop his punch with one of his hands and without making even a slight effort.
What are you doing? You want to die so fast?
In Zeno-sama's realm, Daishinkan noticed the energy of life of the two gods of destruction had disappeared.
That's extremely strange, since the gods, the most powerful entities of the 12 universe, only below me and Zeno-sama.
Daishinkan, with his great mental power, would investigate everything happening in the 12 universes. Jiren then rushed against Goku, while Toppo would hold Bellmount again, realizing that Bellmount had left for another world, and the injuries he generated were serious.
Ha! You saved yourself from that damn good-for-nothing. I'd be able to destroy your body, and you can't come back to life.
Toppo, using a little of destructive energy, would be able to destroy Bellmountain's entire body, and Goku would be able to play with Jiren, since the difference in powers were abysmal. Jiren, annoyed, would try to hit Goku, but Goku was able to dodge the blows. Goku, with a great roar, was able to take him away from the battlefield. I don't have time to play with you, and you don't even know what we've been through. I won't lock you up in that place, because if you had the same determination as ours, you'd get out. I'm planning to end you. Ha! And you think you'll end my life? You're wrong. Goku, cold, would not be characteristic of him, collided with an incredible blow to his face, ending his life in a single blow, while Goku approached Beerus and whisked with a smile, and all that place of the great golden light was able to observe himself while an incredible power would be present. Wow, this is the pressure of Daishinken-sama. So I've finally been able to get the pressure to one of the most powerful beings in the 12 universes. His pressure is not able to overcome mine. Goku would likewise release his incredible pressure, and the power of both intentions started to collide in a great way. It was a normal day in the life of the inhabitants of planet Earth. People were eating in restaurants, walking with their families. There were children playing when suddenly a giant lightning bolt was seen in the sky that caused a strong movement throughout the Earth's surface. Buildings collapsed. People could not stand up. Windows exploded. All this resulted in car accidents and injuries. At the moment, a child was going to be pierced by a giant glass that fell from a building. Very close by, we see how a being that we cannot distinguish who it is flies through the skies at great speed, rescuing people who were in danger due to the strong movement. At the precise moment when the child was about to die, that being rescues him, seeing how a huge piece of glass explodes against the ground. We see how this hooded being stands up from behind, revealing that it was none other than Goku, who had been hidden for a long time because Daishinken and the angels wanted to see him dead. Goku, with a different appearance than the one we all know, after rescuing the boy, is amazed by the energy that emerges from the earth to the sky. We can see how Vegeta arrives at the place where Goku is together with the Z Warriors, who were still saving people from the disaster. Vegeta looks at Goku face to face and says, "Kakarot, insect, where have you been all this time?" At that moment, Gohan and Goten arrive and tell him,
Dad, where have you been?
"What happened to you, father?" All this happened while Piccolo, Krillin, Trunks, and Android 18 were rescuing the people affected by the movement. After having finished saving them, they arrive to where they are reunited with Goku and look at him very surprised. In a head-to-toe scan, we can see Goku's face very emaciated, with wounds and pronounced cheekbones because he had not tasted any kind of food for a long time. At that moment, we go back in time about 20 years ago. We see how Goku and his son Goten are walking together in the forest. Goku, talking to his son, says,
Hey, Goten, are you ready to fish today?
To which Goten replies,
Yes, Dad. Will you show me the fastest way to catch them?
Goku, happy for his son's enthusiasm, replies,
Of course, Goten, but this time I'm going to try something different. Watch this.
Goku dives into the water and after a short time comes out with a big jump with a huge fish moving on his hands. Goten, very surprised, says to his father,
Wow, Dad, how did you do that?
Goku, showing a very happy expression, says,
When I was little like you, Goten, I had to find my own food in order to live. You should try to give it a try.
Goten, very excited, says to his father,
I'll try.
And so Goten dives into the water to the joyful sight of his father, to which, on the first attempt, Goten fails to catch any fish. Seeing Goten's sad face, Goku encourages his son, saying,
Don't worry, Goten. It's a matter of practice and patience. The key is to be quick and not scare the fish.
So Goten dives in again, but this time it takes a long time to come out. When suddenly Goku feels a very powerful ki very close to where he was. Because of this, Goku worried about his son's dives in search of him. Once in the water, he sees Goten fainted and next to him a very strange artifact. Goku, worried about the state in which he found his son, swims to rescue him. At the moment, he was about to lift his son in his arms, ready to go to the surface. The strange artifact begins to emit a very sharp sound that only Goku hears. Wu, with a face of confusion and pain, tries to lift his son, but suddenly the artifact comes off the ground and permeates his chest. Once on his chest, the artifact stops emitting that strange sound and Goku stops feeling the ki of a moment ago. Goku does not take importance to what had happened to him and worried about his son. He lifts him up to get him out of the water. Once outside, Goku puts his son on the ground to revive him, but suddenly an unknown being appeared to him. This being had a greenish coat, blue hair with black tips, and it was a very strange appearance. But it did not seem to be something real. It looked like an illusion. Goku, upon realizing this being, became alert and put his son in good protection. After that, addressing the being, he asks him, "Who are you? What do you want here?" This being, without uttering a word, rushes at high speed towards Goku, who in an act of reflex manages to dodge the first blow. But the speed of the stranger exceeds him by far. Because of that, after dodging the first blow, the unknown being lunges with a kick to the head, which Goku barely manages to block, leaving his stomach exposed, where he takes the opportunity to impact a direct punch, automatically leaving Goku out of air, and thus returns to lunge with a blow to the nape of the neck. Goku, when he was about to lose consciousness, hears a voice in the distance that says, "Apparently this is my best guest that could touch me," saying this in a sarcastic way. "I hope my colleagues are in good condition." After hearing these words, Goku faints. A few minutes after the fleeting confrontation, Goku regains consciousness, and realizing that the unknown being was no longer in the place, he looks for Goten, and when he finds him, he begins to unexpectedly and repeatedly call his name to make him react. Seeing that calling him had no effect, he feels his breathing and notices that he was almost not breathing. He creates an energy sphere in his hand and places it on Goten's chest. Once Goten revives the energy from his father, he reacts and spurts water from his mouth. Goten, with a puzzled expression, asks his father what had happened, to which Goku says, "I have the same question for you. What happened?" Goten tells him that at the precise moment he was about to capture the fish, he felt attracted to the artifact, which also tried to impregnate in his chest. At the time, Goten felt a strong source of energy that ran through every part of his body, which was very difficult to control, and felt how that strange energy weakened him until he lost consciousness and fainted. Goku, in his thoughts, and that he also felt the same strange and very powerful energy running through his body, and worried about his son, asked him if he still felt that energy inside him. Goku, calmly and a little puzzled, told him no, that he only felt that when the artifact was trying to permeate him. While this was happening on Earth, Whis and Beerus went to the Kingdom of Everything to talk to Daishoken, since they had noticed him very tense and worried. Once they were already in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishoken appears with a very serious expression, while Whis and Beerus bow to him to show respect. Daishoken, relieved to see that Whis and Beerus were with him, tells them something very strange and dangerous is about to happen. Whis, with a puzzled expression, asks, "What is it, father? We'd noticed a certain tension in the air as we reached the realm of the whole." Beerus, yawning without realizing the seriousness of the fright, says to him, "Trouble again? What could be so dangerous to make Daishoken so worried?" "Serious? And worried, the High Priest?" To which Daishoken replies, "Yes, I'm afraid so. A powerful entity has resurfaced, once we have not faced in a long time." Whis, with a very serious expression, says to him, "An unknown entity? Could it be one of the beings we left sealed away long ago?" "It is possible, Whis. Its energies are as dark as they are disconcerting. I cannot identify the source with certainty, but its power is overwhelming." Beerus, frowning, says, "Why should I worry about it? If it's that strong, I'll go and destroy it." Daishoken, with a very serious expression, explains, "It's not that simple, Lord Beerus. This entity seems to have the ability to change even the most ancient gods. We cannot underestimate it." Whis thoughtfully asks his father, "How do you suggest we deal with this situation, father?" "We need to gather information before we act rashly. Whis, Beerus, I trust you with the task of investigating. Find out all you can about this entity and any weaknesses he may have." Beerus, smiling confidently, exclaimed, "Good, good. A little action won't hurt." Nodding, Whis replies, "We will be on our way, Daishoken, but be aware that if this entity threatens our universe, we will not hesitate to take drastic measures." "I understand, Whis. May wisdom guide your actions, and may you return with the information we need." After that conversation, Whis and Beerus depart for the hitherto unknown destination, while Daishinkan watches with concern, aware of the gravity of the situation looming in the realm of everything. As they were on their way back to Earth to ask for Goku and Vegeta's help, Whis recalls that when they were on their way to the realm of everything, he sensed a very strong and dangerous ki on planet Earth. Halfway through his quest in the universe, he stops and, confused, Beerus says to Whis, "What's wrong? Why are you stopping?" Whis, very serene, says to Beerus, "Oh, my dear Lord Beerus, it turns out on our way to the realm of everything, I detected a rather intriguing presence." Yawning, Beerus asks, "A mysterious entity? We didn't need to get any of what Daishinkan told us." Whis, with a nervous smile, replies, "Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. This time it doesn't seem to be a direct threat. I just felt a fleeting flash of power, something that crossed our path." Beerus frowns at Whis. "And you didn't give it any importance? Isn't that what Daishinkan was talking about?" "Well, the truth is, I didn't consider it an immediate threat. It was like a flash of power energy, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. It didn't seem to have any hostile intentions." Beerus, thinking about the situation, asks, "So what shall we do then? Does Daishinkan want us to investigate something like this?" "Yes, but I think the best option is to go ahead with our main mission, to find out what the entity has surfaced. The fleeting presence may be a mere detail compared to what awaits us." So Whis and Beerus went on their way through the universe, looking for the entity Daishinkan mentioned without giving so much importance to what happened on Earth. Back on Earth, the precise moment Goku rescued his son Goten, Goku, confused by what had happened to his son and the strange artifact that had impregnated in his chest, told Goten, "Let's go home immediately." As they flew on their way home, Goku tries to sense Vegeta's ki so he could teleport with him, as soon as he left his son with his mother Chi-Chi. At that moment, we see how Vegeta was already gathered by the Z Warriors, Krillin, Android 18, Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaos, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Master Roshi, who were talking about the strong and dark energy they had felt. Goku and Goten arrive home, and his mother, worried because they had taken a long time to return, runs to Goten and says, "Goten, son, are you alright?" To which Goten replies, "Don't worry, Mom, we're fine." Chi-Chi raises her head to Goku and notices that he's very serious. She lowers her gaze a little and notices the strange artifact he had on his chest. Chi-Chi asks him, "Goku, what's that you have there? Are you alright?" Goku immediately changes his expression with a fake smile reply. "Oh, don't worry. It's nothing important." Chi-Chi, in a very insistent way, "Goku, don't fool me. What happened?" "This thing I have on my chest. This very strange artifact I have on my chest. Well, it's a strange artifact, but I'm fine, really. I'm going to find out what it is and we'll get on with our lives." Chi-Chi, worried about Goku, hugs him and says, "Promise me you'll come back, Goku." To which Goku, with a smile, answers her yes. While he was about to make the teleportation, Goku says goodbye, saying to Goten, "Take care of your mother. I'll be right back." He teleports. Moments before Goku arrived to meeting the Z Warriors, as they were at Bulma's house, they were talking about what they had felt a moment ago. Vegeta, with a very serious expression, asks, "Did anyone else feel that dark energy? I can't identify it, but it's disturbing." Piccolo, frowning, replies, "Yes, I felt it. It's as if it disappeared immediately as soon as we felt it. Something's not right." Gohan, very worried, says, "Dad, Goten are with my mother. We should look for them." At that moment, Goku appears in front of them through teleportation and says very seriously, "Guys, I felt a strange presence. Something happened with Goten, but I rescued him." Piccolo, analyzing everything that happened, notices something strange on Goku's body and asks him, "Goku, what's that artifact on your chest?" "That's what I want to find out. But before that, I need to tell you something." To everyone's expectant and uncertain gaze, he says, "The strange energy you felt came from this artifact in my chest." Vegeta frowns and asks, "How's it possible? Does that device emit that energy?" Goku, somewhat worried, nods and says, "It seems so. The moment I rescued Goten, this artifact permeated my chest, and I began to feel an incredible amount of pressure coursing through every part of my body." Piccolo, thinking about everything Goku was telling them, asks, "And how did it get in your chest?" "The artifact was underwater right next to Goten, who had fainted. As soon as I was approaching it, it emitted a very sharp sound that didn't allow me to get close to Goten. Despite that, I managed to get close, and out of nowhere, it jumped in front of my chest to stay there.
After everything that had happened with Goten, I tried to take it off, but when I did it again, it came back to permeate my chest. We must find out what this artifact is and why it has such a great amount of power. I'm counting on you.
Vegeta, determined, says, "Let's do it. We won't let any threat catch us off guard."
Future Trunks earnestly tells everyone, I agree. Together, we'll figure out what's going on.
Goku thanks all his friends for the support they were giving him, but at that moment he changes his joyful expression to one of seriousness, as he remembered what had happened just before he lost consciousness. Gohan, noticing the sudden change in his father's expression, asks him,
Dad, what's wrong? Is there anything else you must tell us?
Vegeta adds, "Insect, you're not hiding anything from us, are you?" Goku remembered what had happened at that moment. With an expression of concern and anguish, he tells them about the fight he had with an unknown being, which exceeds his strength by far. And he remembers that the entity mentioned that he had colleagues that he had hoped would be alright. Piccolo, with fear but serene, says to Goku, "Are you sure of what you're saying? For what you are telling us is very dangerous. If he surpasses your strength by far, in that case we wouldn't stand a chance against him. We'd be a hindrance rather than a support, Goku." Goku, after hearing that, tells him what he felt in the confrontation.
The moment the unknown being appeared, I felt the same amount and type of power, and the dark ki that ran through my body as the strange artifact permeated my chest.
As soon as Goku finished telling what had happened, as soon as he got out of the water, Piccolo came up with an idea. It wasn't that far-fetched, but he could explain what the strange artifact was and why he was facing the unknown being. Piccolo, observing the artifact, turns to Goku saying, "This looks familiar. It may be like a containment urn, like the ones we used at the Mafuba to seal powerful beings." Surprised Goku,
Really, Piccolo? Do you think this could be something like that?
Krillin, looking at the artifact,
An artifact like this one, used with the Mafuba on Goku's chest? Since when did battles become so complicated? There's always something new with you Saiyans.
Master Roshi, somewhat excited, but at the same time serious, exclaimed,
Ah, Mafuba! I remember when we sealed King Piccolo with that. Do you think Goku has such a strong enemy inside?
Future Trunks, analyzing what had happened, says,
It makes sense. The Mafuba urns are powerful devices to contain evil energies. Could this artifact have sealed something?
"I don't care if it's from the Mafuba or anywhere else. I just want to know how to get rid of this thing once and for all." "It's a possibility. The urns we use to keep very strong enemies under control, but why did it attach yourself to Goku?"
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that this energy is linked to a very powerful entity.
"Whatever it is, if it's linked to that artifact, we cannot underestimate it. So what do you plan to do, Kakarot?" At that moment, the Kaio-sama of the North telepathically communicates with Goku to tell him that he had information about the powerful energy that they felt, and the mysterious artifact that permeated his chest. Kaio-sama tells him to get to his planet quickly.
First, we need information. Kaio-sama has information about this artifact and the being that might be inside it. We must go to Kaio-sama so we can find out what we're dealing with.
Vegeta nods and Goku continues.
Exactly, but first, I need your help. If there are any more entities like this, the Earth could be in danger. And with this connection to the artifact, I could put them at risk. Therefore, I'll only go to Kaio-sama to get the information to get rid of this artifact.
Kakarot, don't even think that you'll do this alone. I'll go with you, Insect. I can't accept that you become stronger than me. Goku accepts and asks him to put his hand on his shoulder. Once Goku and Vegeta left, the Z Warriors sensed unknown presences on the planet, so they split into groups and flew off at high speed to go investigate. With the reevaluation that the artifact at Goku's chest might be like a containment urn, similar to those used in Mafuba, the Z Warriors faced an increasingly complex and dangerous situation. Uncertainty about what such an artifact contains and how it is connected to the mysterious dark energy fills them with worry. While Goku and Vegeta were to where Kaio-sama and the Z Warriors went to investigate the unknown presences they had detected in space, Whis and Beerus, after having traversed much of space, felt a strong amount of dark energy, so they immediately head to where it was. As they are about to reach the source of the dark energy, the pressure in the air becomes more intense as they get closer, and the unknown entity awaits their arrival. Why do I feel like this is going to be more complicated than we thought?
Mr. Beerus, the information we gain here could be crucial to understanding the threat we face on Earth.
The unknown entity, surrounded by a dark aura, reveals itself in front of Whis and Beerus. Its presence is overwhelming and a sinister laugh echoes in space. Unknown entity mockingly welcomes them, saying,
I expected your arrival. You took longer than I expected. Do not underestimate the gods. We're here to stop any threat that endangers our universe.
Before any confrontation, can you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, that's funny. I'm known as Ryuk, disciple of the Devourer of Worlds. I have come to free the Master, the most powerful being who ever lived.
The expression on Whis' and Beerus' faces become much more serious upon hearing Ryuku's name.
Ryuk, that name rings a bell.
Ryuk is an ancient threat, Lord Beerus. His master, he and the other disciples were sealed away a millennia ago due to his unquenchable thirst for power and destruction.
So it looks like we have a problem. This time it won't be as easy sealing him again.
The space fills with palpable tension as Ryuk, surrounded by a dark and malevolent aura, confronts Whis and Beerus. The dark energy emanating from him seems to distort the very fabric of space around him.
Problem, you say? You are correct, little god. The Master has been patiently awaiting your release, and now with my arrival, that time has finally come.
Beerus moves into combat stance with a determined expression on his face, while Whis remains composed but alert.
I have no time for games. If your master is a threat, we'll stop you here and now.
Tell us more about your master. Understanding his motivations might help us find a peaceful solution.
Ryuk chuckles mischievously, revealing his sharp fangs, then disappears in a dark flash before reappearing behind Beerus with astonishing speed.
There's nothing they can do to stop the Master's inevitable resurgence. But before that, they could entertain me.
The battle begins. Ryuk throws a swift punch towards Beerus, but the Destroyer guy nimbly dodges and responds with an energy punch that Ryuk blocks easily. Meanwhile, Whis watches carefully, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Ryuk's speed is impressive, but Beerus manages to keep up. They exchange blows and energy blasts in a combat that seems to defy the laws of space itself. Ryuk's dark energy distorts reality around him, making its impact more dangerous and intense.
Lord Beerus, your speed is amazing, but that dark energy is problematic. I suggest you be careful with your movements.
Beerus nods as he dodges an enemy attack and counterattacks with an energy wave. Ryuk, undeterred, vanishes and reappears in front of Whis, challenging him to enter the fight.
And you, assistant of the god, will you dare to face me?
Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk.
I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish.
Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches a fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself. As Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces, Ryuk, his ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him.
This guy's faster than I thought.
As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer.
This dark power is intriguing, but it is out of balance.
Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the gods' moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha! This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and Devourer of Worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the Devourer of Worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature's more formidable than I imagined.
And determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis', creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
You can't dodge me forever, Whis.
As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The Destroyer God sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the Destroyer God. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict.
Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?
Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the High Priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. The Sphere of Divine Containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds, an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the Sphere of Divine Containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There is still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the Sphere of Divine Containment.
Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Kaio-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Kaio-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, scarring Kaio-sama with serious and determined expressions. Kaio-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial. We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know?
Kaio-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Kaio-sama explained that the Cosmic Core of Containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact chose Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot! It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time, figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z Warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z Warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z Warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, 3 warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the 3 warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen, a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun. I don't know who you are, but will not allow you to harm our planet! Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black, malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield. Kaizen! In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension. The henchman counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchman painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene.
You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine.
As Bahamut's henchman lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master.
On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination. Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think. The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z Warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control? The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of containment, that ancestral artifact, had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden. The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried. The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them.
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaio-sama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Ten Shinhan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z Warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Ten Shinhan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Tenshinhan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Tenshinhan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this.
Tenshinhan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchmen, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, this being who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takagami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought, "I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them." Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said, "I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takagami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut." Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said, "More gods? This sounds very dangerous and it's exciting."
Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful.
The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans. "Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness?" Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans. "Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan!"
Come on, God of Darkness. Show us what you can do.
Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness.
They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness.
Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami. However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added, "Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting." Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless.
The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances.
Vegeta, it's time to go further.
Of course, Kakarot. As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better.
Of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions.
I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness.
Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully.
Is that all you have, Saiyan?
While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level.
Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do?
Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it.
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans.
Final flash!
The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact.
His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions.
Big Bane attack!
Kaioken 20 times!
The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy.
This darkness is incredibly strong.
We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this.
Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously.
Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness.
The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions.
Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within.
No! I haven't taken complete control yet!
Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation.
What's going on?
Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form. But now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. Huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now Takagami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha.
That's what Yamcha looks like!
Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile.
That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now.
Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously.
Damn it! How dare you possess one of us? It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Baumut puppets.
The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing, was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely.
Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Baumut will be released, and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takagami.
Of course, Kakarot. But first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takagami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Baumut. But Takagami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
the dark energy intensified, and the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness, now the freedom to be able to use all his power, launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takagami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her.
Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!
But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takagami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Ten Shinhan, after alerting the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Ten Shinhan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly.
Takagami! I'll make sure you pay for this!
Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Bahamut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself. The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takagami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takagami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted.
Ten Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world.
Ten Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takagami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takagami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyans' fusion.
Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option.
I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takagami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takagami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takagami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight, but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takagami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Ten Shinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takagami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Ten Shinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans. Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takagami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takagami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takagami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Ten Shinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takagami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster. I'll come with you, Ten Shinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it, Ten Shinhan. Chaos.
Ten Shinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takagami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Ten Shinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takagami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Ten Shinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Ten Shinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takagami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takagami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Ten Shinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Ten Shinhan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takagami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Ten Shinhan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Ten Shinhan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that. Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act.
At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takagami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takagami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain. Gogeta floated in the sky, surrounded by the imposing energy of his new form. The stars seemed to pale before the intensity of his blue radiance as Takagami recovered from the initial impact and adopted a defensive posture.
What kind of transformation is this? This is the power of those who fight for something greater than themselves.
With a flash, Gogeta disappeared, appearing in front of Takagami in the blink of an eye. The clash of their fists created shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Gogeta's speed and strength were unmatched, surpassing even Takagami's ability to anticipate his blows. Gogeta and Takagami exchanged blows and energy blasts at breakneck speed. Each impact resounded like cosmic thunder, creating an epic symphony on planet Earth.
Your attempt to revive your so-called gods ends here, Takagami.
But you're a bug in the face of the greatness of my power. In an instant, Gogeta unleashed a burst of concentrated energy, enveloping Takagami in a whirlwind of light and force. When the light dissipated, Takagami emerged unharmed, but with a more serious expression.
Interesting, but not enough.
The battle was reaching cosmic levels with ripples of energy spreading across the far reaches of the universe. Meanwhile, the other Z warriors watched the sky, appreciating Gogeta's great power of display and Takagami's resilience and viciousness. The roar of battle echoed in every corner of the universe. Gogeta and Takagami, wrapped in an endless dance of energy, continued their titanic confrontation. Space twisted and trembled under the influence of their powers, creating distortions itself. Bursts of energy expanded like lightning, illuminating the darkness of the night sky with dazzling flashes. Each blow between the two contenders seemed to release an explosion of energy that spread in concentric waves, setting the frantic pace of the cosmic battle. Away from the battlefield, the others watched in anguish and admiration. Bulma, with a mixture of fear and hope in her eyes, clung to the hope that Gogeta would prevail.
Come on, Gogeta, you must win! For all of us!
Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Gogeta and Takagami continued their fierce exchange. Determination burned in Gogeta's eyes, while Takagami maintained a defiant smile, though his expression hid a growing unease.
This is for the price you pay for defying the peace of the universe.
With a swift movement, Gogeta vanished and reappeared behind Takagami, launching an energy-charged punch straight at his back. But Takagami, anticipating, quickly spun around and blocked the attack with the dark energy shield.
Haha! Is that all you got?
In response, Gogeta intensified his assault, unleashing a continuous flurry of punches and kicks. Each impact resounded like thunder. But Takagami, though outmatched in speed, resisted with his dark power, countering the attacks with deft movements. During the scuttle, Takagami took advantage of the prevalent moment of openness and opened up a launched energy bolt straight for Gogeta's chest. The resulting explosion shook the universe and Gogeta was thrown backwards, leaving a trail of blue energy.
Is that all hope can do?
Gogeta recovered quickly, stood up with determination. The glow of his transformation increased even more.
This is far from over.
The battle continued, leading them again to display an ever-increasing amount of power. In this fury, Gogeta unleashed power that defied the laws of the universe, and Takagami, despite his arrogance, began to show signs of concern. The tension was palpable. The Z warriors felt the intensity of the confrontation, even when they were a long distance away from where the battle for the future of the planet was taking place. Piccolo was seriously watching, calculating every move and thinking at some point this battle, which was far from over, would be a favorable outcome. Piccolo, in his thoughts,
Goku, Vegeta, we trust you. You must win this battle.
The battle reached a new climax when Gogeta and Takagami met at an eminent point in the battle. The energy emanated from them, illuminating the vastness of the dark sky, creating a dazzling spectacle of colors and flashes.
You cannot escape darkness. Darkness will never prevail over light.
You're a fool if you think your light can eclipse my power.
Suddenly, a voice echoed in Gogeta's mind, a familiar but distant voice.
Gogeta, do not underestimate your enemy. Truth lies within strength.
The transmission abruptly cut off, leaving Gogeta bewildered. Before he could reflect on it, however, Takagami lunged towards him with surprising speed, unleashing a series of punches and kicks that left Gogeta struggling to keep up. At that moment, a fleeting image flashed through Gogeta's mind, a vision of his loved ones, of his purpose, and the responsibility he carried on his shoulders. The energy of the transformation fanned, and Gogeta, with newfound determination, struck back with renewed ferocity.
This is the limit of your tyranny, Takagami.
The limit's up to you, Gogeta, and your limit is my power.
Suddenly, the sky around him fragmented, and multiple distorted versions of Takagami emerged from the dimensional rifts, each with a malevolent grin.
You cannot defeat me, Gogeta. I am eternal. I'm a god.
You may be powerful, but I'm not alone in this.
The battle reached a new intensity as multiple distorted incarnations of Takagami surrounded Gogeta. Each emanated a dark energy that defied the laws of the universe. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the pressure of their combined presences. At that precise moment, Goku and Vegeta's fusion had come to an end due to the amount of power they had used in order to stand up to Takagami. Goku and Vegeta, although they had returned to their individual forms after the fusion, knew that the key by defeating Takagami lay in perfect unity and coordination.
Vegeta, we're in this together. Let's give all our power to be able to confront him so we can free Yamcha from this so-called god.
Yes, Kakarot. This insect will not defeat us.
The Z Warriors watched in amazement, aware that the fate of the universe hung in the balance. Piccolo analyzed the situation, looking for any weaknesses that could be exploited. The others prepared to act if the opportunity presented itself. Goku and Vegeta, now separated, their fusion as Gogeta, faced Takagami with determination in their eyes. The dark presence of the supposed god loomed over them. But the Saiyans were determined to free Yamcha and put an end to the threat he posed.
Vegeta, we need to coordinate our attacks. We've always been stronger when we fight together.
For once, I agree with you, Kakarot. This insect will pay for what he did.
The two Saiyans lunged towards Takagami, attacking with a combination of punches and ki blasts. Takagami, though powerful, was momentarily overwhelmed by the timing of the two warriors. However, his sinister laugh echoed across the battlefield.
Your union will change nothing. My power is unlimited.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances, realizing that the situation was more serious than they had imagined. Takagami unleashed a wave of dark energy that sent them flying, but they quickly recovered, ready to continue the fight. The Z Warriors watched with concern. Gohan, though a bit intimidated by Takagami's power, maintained his unwavering determination. Piccolo, with his keen intelligence, pointed out a possible weakness.
It seems his power is linked to some source. We must find a way to break that connection.
Goten and Trunks, who had arrived along with Gohan, eager to join the battle, looked at their parents with concern. However, Piccolo stopped them.
Guys, we need a plan before we launch into battle. Your strength will be crucial at the right time.
While the Z Warriors thought of a plan, Goku and Vegeta continued their fierce assault against Takagami. Every time it seemed they were about to defeat him, his power increased and the evil emanating from him intensified.
Ha 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 ha! Your resistance is useless. My power thrives on despair and suffering.
Then we must find a way to change that. Vegeta, we need to attack together, but with a strategy.
You're finally thinking clearly, Kakarot. Let's do it!
The two Saiyans, coordinating their movements, executed a series of synchronized attacks. Although Takagami was defending himself skillfully, he began to show signs of discomfort. The connection between his power and the external source seemed to be faltering. At that instant, Piccolo noticed the opportunity.
Now is the time. Gohan, wait for the opening we'll give you so you can attack. Goten, Trunks, follow me on my signal.
Gohan nodded, conveying a look of confidence to his friends. Goten and Trunks prepared to act on Piccolo's directions.
Everyone, let's send our energies to Goku and Vegeta. We must strengthen their connection and weaken Takagami's source of power.
The Z Warriors gathered their energies and, with a coordinated effort, sent a stream of ki skyward. Goku and Vegeta, sensing the surge of power, seized the opportunity.
They're doing it! Come on, Vegeta!
The connection between Goku, Vegeta, and the Z Warriors created a unique synergy. Energy flowed through them, strengthening their resolve and weakening Takagami's external source of power.
This can't be happening!
the darkness surrounding Takagami began to dissipate due to the large amount of energy they were receiving from their friends. Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, observing the battle, noticed the opportunity to intervene.
Now, guys, let's go!
Goten and Trunks took flight into the sky where Goku and Vegeta were, joining the fight against Takagami. With the energy of the Z-Warriors strengthening the connection between Goku and Vegeta, the real battle was about to begin. The fusion of powers of the Saiyans between father and son created an explosion of energy that enveloped Takagami. The fight intensified, but now, with hope and determination as their allies, Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks were ready to face the Dark God and free the universe from his evil domain. The burst of energy that enveloped Takagami reverberated throughout the universe. The fusion of the powers of Goku, Vegeta, and his sons created a symphony of forces, illuminating the sky with a brilliant radiance that defied the darkness Takagami had tried to impose. Takagami, enveloped in the luminescence of the combined energy, struggled to maintain his composure. The connection between his power and the source of his power, Yamcha, was weakening with every second, and his sinister laugh began to turn into growls of frustration.
We're making progress, Vegeta!
Yes, but let's not let our guard down. It's not over.
As the Saiyans continued their coordinated offensive, Goten and Trunks and their Super Saiyan forms joined the battle. The pressure on Takagami intensified as he now faced not only the two adult Saiyans, but also that of his sons. The coordination between them was impressive, and every move was backed by the combined strength of the Z-Warriors.
Dad! Vegeta! We're here to help! Let's show this guy that the Saiyan family is unstoppable!
The trio of Saiyans, with their different levels of expertise and abilities, formed a united front against Takagami. The battle was getting more and more intense with bursts of energy and flurries of attacks lighting up space like a celestial spectacle. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, and the others channeled their energies to strengthen the connection between the Saiyans and, at the same time, searched for weaknesses in Takagami's defense.
We must keep the pressure on and look for any opportunity to unbalance Takagami.
Dad! Vegeta! Goten! Trunks! We all trust you! Let's defeat this enemy together!
In space, the synergy between the Saiyans reached its peak. Goku and Vegeta, with the energy of their sons and the Z-Warriors, fused their attacks in an amazing display of power. Takagami, despite his resistance, began to give ground.
This is not possible! I'm a god! I cannot be defeated!
The connection between his power and the external source was on the verge of collapse. The Saiyans, sensing Takagami's weakness, redoubled their efforts. Goten, Trunks, guided by Piccolo's strategy, attacked from unexpected angles, while Goku and Vegeta continued their frontal assault. Piccolo noticed a key opportunity.
Now, Gohan, it's your time!
Gohan, in his final form ready to take advantage of the opportunity, concentrated his energy and launched himself into the confrontation. With surprising speed, he joined the fight alongside Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks.
Let's finish this, Dad!
The symphony of energy between the Z-Warriors and the Saiyans reached its climax. Takagami, beset on all sides, struggled to stand, and the skies erupted in an explosion of light and darkness as the heroes joined forces to confront the Dark God. The battle reached its climax, and every move decided the fate of the universe. The Z-Warriors from Earth watched with eagerness and hope, knowing that victory was within reach, but also aware that the final fight was yet to come. With the Saiyans and the Z-Warriors facing Takagami in a cosmic confrontation. However, amidst the chaos of battle, a small distraction allowed Takagami to strike back with furiosity. Goten and Trunks, focused on following Piccolo's strategy, attacked from different angles. However, in a moment of minimal distraction, Takagami seized the opportunity and launched a surprise counterattack. With quick and precise movements, the Dark God managed to evade Goten and Trunks' attacks, countering them with punches and energy blasts.
Ha ha ha! Your efforts are useless, children! I'm the all-consuming darkness!
Goten and Trunks, though agile and powerful, found themselves in a precarious situation. Takagami, with his speed and cunning, left the young Saiyans struggling to keep up.
We have to protect them!
Takagami's concentration of power is increasing. We need to regroup and find a strategy to counter his moves.
Meanwhile, in the sky, Goten and Trunks, despite the setbacks, continued to fight bravely. They tried to coordinate their attacks, but Takagami's speed and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge.
Trunks, we have to stay focused.
I know, but this guy's stronger than I imagined.
In an unexpected twist, Takagami launched a blast of dark energy that hit Goten and Trunks, leaving them badly injured. Both Saiyans fell backwards with obvious signs of exhaustion and pain.
Goten! Trunks!
This damned dark god!
The adult Saiyans intensified their assault, determined to avenge their momentary fall of their sons. Takagami, however, taking advantage of the confusion and despair that gripped the Z warriors, rejoiced in his newly strengthened power.
This is how the heroes of the universe give up. They may fight, but in the end, darkness will always prevail.
The result was becoming even more tense. The Z warriors, though determined, were facing the reality that their fight was far from over. Goten and Trunks, wounded but not defeated, were struggling to recover and rejoin the battle.
We need a new approach. Takagami's strength increases with each passing moment.
We'll protect Goten and Trunks. We'll not let the darkness prevail.
The battle, now more critical than ever, was plunging into a desperate confrontation where the survival of the universe hung in the balance. Gohan, observing the critical situation of his brother Goten and Trunks, could not contain the fury that burned within him. A flash of anger crossed his eyes, and his energy rose to levels that would leave even the most experienced Saiyans dumbfounded. He lunged towards Takagami with shocking speed, ignoring any concern for his own safety.
With this price, you'll pay for hurting my family!
His speed and furiosity impressed everyone on the battlefield. Every blow he delivered carried with it a pent-up rage of a protective brother. Takagami, though initially surprised, adapted to the intensity of Gohan's attacks.
Do you think your anger can stop me?
I'm going to protect my family and the entire universe from your darkness!
The battle between Gohan and Takagami unleashed an energy storm in space. Goku and Vegeta watched in awe and fear as the conflict reached levels that defied comprehension. Despite their determination, they realized they were facing a power beyond anything they had faced before.
This kid, his power is amazing!
We can't let Gohan fight alone. We must support him.
As Gohan continued his relentless assault, Takagami showed a significant improvement in his defensive ability. Every blow was met with inhuman prowess. The battle reached a point where the universe itself seemed to be on the verge of collapse. The epic confrontation between Gohan and Takagami pushed the Saiyan warrior to the limit of his abilities. Despite Gohan's bravery and skill, the Dark God, with unmatched cunning and speed, found an opening in his defense. With a graceful twist, Takagami unleashed a ripping attack, a blast of dark energy that sliced through the air with a malevolent precision. Gohan, surprised by the speed and ferocity of the attack, barely had time to react. The energy wave hit Gohan full on, enveloping him in an explosion of light and darkness. The force of the impact threw Goku's eldest son backwards, causing him to stagger, desperately struggling to stay on his feet. The dark energy left its mark on Gohan's body, marking him with deep, tearing wounds.
Gah! This can't be so strong!
Takagami, with a sinister smile, hovered in the air, observing the result of his devastating attack. The black energy around him seemed to vibrate with satisfaction as Gohan tried to recover.
This is the power you praise so much. You're no match for me, Gohan.
Goku and Vegeta, witnessing the scene from a distance, gritted their teeth helplessly. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment. Goten and Trunks, still injured but recovering, were prepared to rejoin the fight.
Gohan! This damned, we can't let this continue.
Goten and Trunks, sensing the urgency of the situation, approached Gohan to help him. Despite his own injuries, determination shone in his eyes.
Brother, are you alright? Yes, but we need a new approach.
We're not going to let this guy get away with this.
Meanwhile, Piccolo and the other Z warriors were also assessing the situation, looking for any opportunity to change the course of the battle. The pressure on them was mounting, and the need to find an effective strategy was becoming more apparent.
We have to work together. Gohan, can you keep fighting?
Gohan nodded, ignoring the pain coursing through his body. His determination had not dulled, on the contrary. Takagami's imminent threat stoked it.
I can't give up, but we need a strategy. Something that could surprise him.
Surprise him, you say?
As the Z Warriors immersed themselves in strategy to counter Takagami, a small distraction took over the battlefield. Goten and Trunks, aware of the need of a different approach, exchanged determined glances. Without saying a word, they assumed the familiar fusion dance stance. The other warriors, immersed in their tactics, barely noticed the sudden disappearance of Goten and Trunks as they performed the fusion. The energy around them condensed into a brilliant flash that revealed Gotenks, Super Saiyan, the powerful fusion of the two young Saiyans.
Ready to give this guy a surprise!
With impressive speed, Gotenks launched himself towards Takagami, who was momentarily startled by the new presence on the battlefield. Gotenks, with his characteristic air of self-sufficiency, began to unleash a series of swift and agile attacks, challenging the Dark God with renewed energy.
Here I come!
Takagami, however, far from being intimidated, smiled sinisterly. With a casual gesture, he deflected Gotenks' attacks as if toying with him.
Is that all you've got, you little fused insect?
Gotenks persisted, intensifying his attacks, trying to find an opening in Takagami's defense. However, the Dark God, with a graceful move, countered each blow with ease.
Come on! It can't be!
In the moment of distraction, Takagami took advantage of the situation. With impressive speed, he launched a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gotenks before he could react. The resulting explosion threw Gotenks backwards, knocking him to the ground unconscious and disfigured.
Gotenks!
This is worse than we thought.
Takagami, now more confident of his superiority, hovered in the air, glaring at the defeated warriors. Goten and Trunks, still unconscious, lay on the ground as Takagami revealed in his moment of victory.
Ha 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 ha! Is this all you offer, Z Warriors? Your desperation only increases my power.
With the outlook darkened by Gotenks' momentary defeat, attention turned to Gohan, who, badly wounded but driven by an inner strength, began to radiate intense energy. The pain in his body seemed to fuel his determination, and a wild golden glow enveloped as his ki reached never-before-seen levels. In the blink of an eye, Gohan transformed into Super Saiyan Phase 3, a form of awesome power that surprised even Takagami. Gohan's hair grew out of control, his muscles swelled, and his expression reflected a mixture of pain and fierce determination.
What is this? A new trick?
Gohan, with a wild roar, launched himself towards Takagami with shocking speed. The force of his blows and the intensity of his attacks shook the battlefield, creating a storm of energy around him. The conflict between light and darkness took on a new dimension as Gohan challenged the limits of his own power.
You're going to pay for what you've done!